Hey guys, I'm going to do another quick review video. I've realized I completely forgot that I had the new Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, and then I've also had the Bee Holder by Pure Dual Action Complexion Applicator sitting back here, and I'm like, shoot, I've been wanting to try this. So I was like, let me just try it on camera so that you guys could get like a first impression. So this is the Long Wear Foundation and Concealer, so that makes me think you could use it for either. It says it can be used for lighter coverage and it can be used for fuller coverage. Don't judge my voice right now. I'm losing my voice again. I seriously need to get my tonsils taken out one of these days, but I suck and I'm lazy. And if you see this was a pimple and this was a pimple, and then I was outside in the sun, and I guess my sunscreen, I didn't use enough of it, and then it like burnt it, and now it looks really pretty. So this will be the true test if this foundation works, because we're struggling. It's a bad situation. We'll be able to tell if this is legit or not. And I decided to use the brush with it because it really intrigued me. It has like a little silicone thing on the inside. This says that it's supposed to give you a seamless finish, and you could use it for powder and for cream. So I don't know, I felt like it was very, very interesting to me, this little thing. So we're gonna see how this goes. It feels kind of like fibery hair. Well, first of all, I'm gonna use a primer that I know always works for me that I really like. It's the No Pore Blem Primer by Touch and Soul. And then I'm actually gonna use a little Derma E Tea Tree and Vitamin E oil to kind of put on these little burns that I have going on here. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't put enough SPF on my face. And it literally just like burnt the skin off after I had popped the pimple. Oh, I'm such an idiot. But I love tea tree oil, this vitamin E oil stuff, because it doesn't burn after I pop a pimple and it heals it really, really fast. And I like it too if you get sunburn and stuff like that. So I can tell the skin's like coming back together on this pimple, but I can tell this one's still like, we're still struggling. Since it says you could use it for concealer, powder, everything, I'm gonna put the primer right on this guy. I feel like the bristles are definitely like rough. Like these bristles don't feel soft to me at all. And they feel kind of itchy. Just gonna throw that out there. All right, so I'm gonna like let that dry for a second. And that's another reason I love this primer. I feel like it dries really quick. I'm gonna use the foundation and concealer. So I love that it has a pump, obviously. I'm just gonna put a little on my fingers. All right, so I just pumped a little bit onto my fingers and I'm gonna push it. I look diseased. These are making me look like I have a disease. All right, so I'm just gonna take this and push it in. All right, so I have to tell you guys, I hate this brush. I feel like I don't mind the silicone thing on the inside, but I just don't like how these fibers feel on my skin at all whatsoever. I will say though, it is giving me more of that buffed out type of look when, you know how when you use a beauty blender and it helps get rid of like the little lines from putting your makeup on if you use a brush. I will say though, looking at the side, it looks like I'm not gonna have to go back with a beauty blender and kind of buff it all out, all the little lines. So right here, you could tell my skin like really dry from where I got burnt. So what I do is I take a beauty blender that's wet and I really push it and don't really move it around, just push it into my skin so that you can't see like the little flakiness. And I feel like this is helping with the buffed lines, but it's up here where I'm dry. It's like, nope, it ain't happening. So this is one layer on my skin, and like, you guys just saw really up close, you could still see my hyperpigmentation. You can obviously still see my pimples. You can see my pimple a little bit right here and like some of my dark spots. So I'm gonna finish my forehead because my forehead's kind of boring. I don't really have freckles or anything up there. And then I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna come back for a second coat and see if I get that full coverage look. Do another coat and see how it goes, because it says on the back of here, apply 1 pump of foundation for lighter coverage and 2 to 3 pumps for fuller coverage. I definitely like this foundation much better than their other foundation. I forget what the one was called, but it was so hard to blend. This is really, really blendable for sure. I will say though, if you have drier skin, this might not be for you, but if you have oily skin, like if you work in a restaurant or you work in heated areas where you just sweat or get oily quick, this would be a good one, because I feel like it definitely I feel like this one's definitely like thicker, I guess, and it dries really, really quick. I do like it much better with the second layer on, like a whole lot better. This is the final result. I'm nice and it's pretty much dry. I'm really shocked. I didn't think I was gonna like it after the first layer because I was like, ooh, this isn't covering much of anything at all. And it felt really, really drying. This second layer, I really liked it. I only did another pump or two for the second layer. And I feel like with the first layer on, it almost stuck to my skin better. I feel like it blended better. And like I said, it's actually way more full coverage than I was expecting. Again, if you're on the drier side, this foundation might not be for you. I feel like it will be really good for when I'm more oily. I guess like if I'm out in the sun and I'm sweating. The color feels good. I normally go for a little bit more of a yellow color because by the time I put on setting powders and bronzers and stuff like that, because I do look a little crazy right now with just like a matte layer of foundation on, but I do like it. I just don't love this brush. I would love this brush if it literally just had the little silicone thing. I really like how that felt, and I did buff out a lot of the little lines, but this guy was just way too harsh for my skin. I didn't like it at all. I like stuff when I put foundation on where it just goes on kind of gently and isn't too rough, and this one was just too much, especially with having dry skin right now. I feel like it picked up a lot of the dry flakes and kind of just moved them around.